I think the true cure for dead people working is leadership. And you know, a lot of people are claiming their own fame through leadership, and you know, there's lots of different theories, and if you go to Amazon and you want to search a title and you put leadership in it, how many books do you think are going to come up? A ton. Everyone's got their approach to leadership. I'm going to make it super simple. And what I think leadership is I think it's a choice. And I think it's a choice that we're invited to step into so many times in a day. See, it could be that you're walking down the hall 80 miles an hour with your hair on fire, and you are focused on where you need to go and what you need to get done, and in your path comes a young, unseasoned, inexperienced leader. And you have a choice. You can stop in your tracks and you can lead them up and draw them up, or you can keep going. There are going to be meetings, and I suspect if you're like other organizations, you meet and you meet and you meet and you meet. So we're in meetings a lot. So there will be times in meetings where you can choose to lead by standing up and calling BS on a direction or a decision that you think is going in an entirely wrong direction in favor of a better way. We have the choice to lead. See, it's a choice, and that's the theme that is really deeply rooted in that Boom book. What we learned, and this could be just simply a reminder to most of you, is that we have all been designed to choose. We are not defined by the economy. We're not defined by our colleagues, by our team, by defense spending, by the aircraft that we get to or not design and produce. We're not defined by that. We're not defined by all of the crud that hits us every single day. We're impacted by it, but we're not defined by it. We're defined by how we choose to lead through and lead in the midst of all that stuff. That's the theme that runs through the entire Boom book. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share 7 choices. And I don't claim to be one who stands up here and says, all you need to do is just live all these 7 choices out loud every single day and then you'll be a full spectrum leader. That's as easy as it gets. That's not what I'm doing here. I think that life is so busy, life comes at you fast, there's so much information. All I'm doing is presenting examples, stories and illustrations of people. Very different, very similar to you. Different industries, different organizations, different job titles, different educations, but examples of people who have chosen to live these choices, one of them maybe, and that one choice has helped them re-engineer, redefine their personal leadership brand. See, because leadership, beyond being a choice, leadership is ultimately, it's your opportunity to model, inspire, and teach full spectrum leadership in the midst of everything else that you do. But I say model because modeling is it's what you do every day. It's living, shaping the future. It's living, building effective teams. It's living, delivering results. It's living all the components of full spectrum leadership out loud as many times as you can. That doesn't mean that you're going to be, shaping the future all day long every single day. Doesn't mean that you're going to be delivering those results all day long every single day. I learned a great lesson from a woman by the name of Karen Shatters. And Karen Shatters is an executive vice president of people for Wegmans. And Wegmans is recognized as one of the 100 best companies to work for, a really cool grocery chain. So she said, as an executive within this company, Wegmans touts and really likes their leaders to live 4 values in all that they do. She said, I take the same route to work every single day. And there's this one signpost, there's this one, place that I pass every day, and that's my trigger point. And it's the trigger point, the point at which I say to myself, okay, what one of those 4 values am I going to purposefully really make an effort, a conscious effort to live big and bold all day long? In the meetings and the interviews and the emails and all that stuff that I've got to do, I'm just going to focus on that one value today. That's sometimes what it takes. It's making that conscious decision to say, what part of full spectrum leadership, what part building my own brand new leadership brand, what characteristic do I want to try and live out loud just today? Or this week, for that matter. So that means modeling it, living it in everything that you do, trying to incorporate it. And hopefully through your model, through your example, you're inspiring others to want to be a full spectrum leader, to want to be a shaper of the future, to want to be someone who's really locked and loaded on delivering results. Through your modeling and then your inspiration to draw people to want to emulate you, copy you, imitate you, that's not enough. I think the next step is to teach it. And I don't tell you to teach it or encourage you to teach it because I think your people need to be taught. I think one of the best gifts that teachers receive is the more we teach, the more we know. The more I speak these principles and these choices, the more I realize how much I have to learn and I have to grow and I have to stretch and how I'm not living that out loud. So the more we teach, the more it becomes deeply ingrained in us. So you teach it, you begin to know it, and then it's so in your fiber that when you bump into someone in the hallway and you start having a conversation, guess what leaks out? What you've been teaching, what you've learned through the process of teaching. That's what teaching is all about. So great leaders are people who model, inspire, and then teach. Not to teach the top, but to learn ourselves. So this is where we begin. If we think about our role as full spectrum leaders to model, inspire, and teach, what happens is we begin the journey of personal transformation. See, Tony Lepore didn't say, I am so committed to changing law enforcement as an industry. I'm just on it. That's not what he said. He said, I'm bored. I want to shake it up. I want to grow. I want to change my own brand just for the sake of me. And in the process of building and re-engineering his brand, guess what he did? He did it. He transformed his reputation. And then he changed the Providence, Rhode Island Police Department. And he changed the community. The community missed him. They wanted him. He became a benchmark. And then what's happened is if you even Google Tony Lepore, you'll find out that he has created an industrial transformation. There's a concept called positive policing. It's spun out of what Tony started in Providence, Rhode Island. He didn't start there, though. It's a part of the process. And I'm going to introduce you to a lot of people who have done that, who haven't said, I'm going to change the industry, but they said, I'm going to change what I can change me. And then hopefully through my example, I'll inspire others in the business. And then you create the rest.